Good evening once again. Tennessee takes care of business tonight. Game one of the weekend series against Missouri. My name is Frank Rock. This is the House Foreign Sports Channel. Thank you guys for tuning in with me. Let's get right into this recap of it. As Tennessee comes out of the gate, Chris Stamos starts for Tennessee tonight. He comes out, he does his job, he gets through 2 2/3 innings tonight with no earned runs, no runs, 3 hits, 3 strikeouts, 41 pitches. He provides that opener uh, mentality status for Tennessee tonight. Could he have gone longer? Possibly, but I know they like bringing A.J. Causey out of the bullpen. They like bringing him in. They feel, from what I've read, that he's more comfortable coming out of the pen. Now, I will counter that in saying he had 2 bad weekends. Other than that, when he was starting, he did very well. But there is a case to be made for, yes, he pitches better out of the bullpen. He comes in tonight, 6 innings, 1 run, it was earned, 6 hits, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts. Pretty good night for him overall. And then Matthew Dallas finishes the game, 2 pitches, gets a fly ball, 1/3 of an inning, finishes it off for Tennessee. So good job with the pitching tonight. Causey did give up the 1 home run to Missouri, but other than that, it's hard to complain a lot about what this staff did tonight. And I always like to toot my own horn on this one, just because I saw so many in the preseason, in the early season, saying, "Oh, Christian Moore needs to be hitting third. I want to see him on base, or I'm sorry, I want to see him coming up to bat with people on base." I was originally on the Billy Amick leading off. I was like him and Moore, and then I was like, well, Moore provides more of it. I say this every time, and I'm not going to quit beating that drum. If you want the best baseball coverage, the best baseball analysis, it's right here. It's better than any other program that covers Tennessee baseball. That includes your sites that you pay for. I don't have inside information, but I do have baseball information. Number one, right here, second to none. It's not even close with the rest of them. All right. Christian Moore, to me, this is not the 80s, it's not the 90s. You don't want just a speedster leading off because he's a speedster. You want your best hitters leading off, getting the most at bats. They only lead off once. The rest of the game, they may come up, as we saw this past weekend against Kentucky with numerous guys on base. Christian Moore made Kentucky pay numerous times. You get back to the top of that order, in those instances, you cannot pitch around Christian Moore because you have Blake Burke behind him. You have Billy Amick, Kavaris Tears, Dylan Dreiling, Dean Curley, and it goes on and on. That's how you construct a lineup. I like what Tony Vitello has done with this lineup. Do I agree with every decision he makes? No. As far as how he has constructed this lineup, it took him a few weeks to do it. I have no problems. It's this lineup is constructed the way you want to protect your best hitters. It is what it is. The only guy that's probably not protected is Dean Curley. And depending on the night, you have a Hunter Ensley who hit a home run tonight. You have Reese Chapman. You have a Cal Stark who had a huge 3-run home run tonight. That's how you do. That's how you roll with it. Tennessee's lineup tonight. My guys of the game tonight, of course, Billy Amick, 3 for 5, 2 home runs, 4 RBIs. But to me, Christian Moore started off home run out of the gate. I love it. I love him leading off. He and Blake Burke are your 2 best hitters on the team. Amick, Tears, Dreiling, they're not far behind. There are nights there maybe as good, if not better. But overall, your best two hitters are Moore and Burke. Moore starts off with a home run. What was it, second inning? See if I can pull up that summary here just a minute. Yeah, second inning. Tennessee gets down in order. Missouri walks a couple guys. You had Inslee moved the guys. One out. Reese Chapman struck out. Kills me with this team. Those instances, second and third, one out. Chapman struck out, could not make it happen. Cal Stark, the 3-run home run. This team never looked back after that. 10-1, it was close. At some point, you thought they may run rule Missouri, but Moore 3 for 4 tonight with the home run to walk. Blake Burke 0 for 5. Obviously not one of his better nights, but you know what? Based on what he's done this year, he's earned to have that night off. Billy Amick 3 for 5. Tears 1 for 3. Here's one that I loved late in the game. Cannon Peebles, pinch hit, 1 for 1. Finally got that home run. Finally got his first home run on the year. And the cool thing was you could see in the dugout behind him, that team was so happy for him. That showed me a lot about that team tonight, that they are a team. They are rooting one another on. They're pulling for one another. And they were so happy for him. A guy who Tony Vitello mentioned last weekend is when he sees the lineup card, he's not happy when he's not in. But he stays up there. He stays in the game. He cheers the team on. He's asking questions. And when it's his time, he comes in, make it happen. Hats off to him. It will pay off for him next year. It may not this year. Next year it will. I apologize, guys. I keep yawning here as I'm ready for bed at this point. But I keep yawning, keep trying to hide it a little bit. But Dylan Dreiling, 0 for 2, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. Bargo 0 for 1. Dean Curley 0 for 2, 2 walks, 1 strikeout. Antigua 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Hunter Inslee 1 for 3 with a home run and an RBI. Reese Chapman 0 for 1. He had a walk and a strikeout. Colby Backus pinch hit for him. 0 for 1 for the strikeout. And then Cal Stark 1 for 3. 3 RBIs, 1 home run, 1 strikeout, 1 sack fly. Or I'm sorry, 1 sack bunt. Hunter Inslee had a sack bunt as well tonight. 2 perfectly executed sack bunts. I love it from this team. I love that they're working that aspect of it into their game, as that's going to be important to it. These teams that win in Omaha, they can bunt, they can run, they can field, they can do all these little things. The one thing that's going to be a question for Tennessee is pitching. I feel at times they're a bit too reliant on the bullpen, but if A.J. Russell comes back, who's to say that does not shift a bit as well? But there's your stats for the night. Tennessee takes their business in game 1 tonight, 10-1. Tomorrow you got Drew Beam going for Tennessee. Can't remember who it is from Missouri. Saturday, it is listed as to be determined for Tennessee. I feel it'll still be Xander Sechrist. And this is, frankly, a series that Tennessee should sweep. Hopefully we'll get some help from South Carolina, taking care of business on Kentucky this weekend, and we'll see what else happens around the rest of the conference. But, I'll have a post-game recap tomorrow night as well as Saturday. Basketball news, any basketball news will be passed along. Felix Para committed today. Any Lady Vols news will be passed along as well. But I'm going to wrap up on this one. If you like the content you're getting down in that bottom right corner, hit that super thanks button. We're always welcome to that super thanks if you want to throw a couple dollars this way. Not going to be shy about asking for it, because I built up to this wanting to make money off of the channel. I'm not going to beg for it, but I'm also not going to turn it down either. So if you appreciate the content, want to show a super thanks, bottom right corner, that is your place to go. My name's Frank Rock. This is the House of Orange Sports Channel, the #1 baseball channel, the #1 basketball channel, the #1 Lady Vols basketball channel on YouTube. Hands down, bar none, Don't let anybody tell you any different. Have a great night. Last but certainly not least, go Vols.